How have you changed physically since last year? Dennis said you got bigger.
Mm.
And what was the reasoning behind working on that?
Yeah, I have put on some weight. I was 235 exiting last year, reported in at 250. So putting a good amount of weight, just more so focusing on just keeping my movement, but also just trying to put on some weight too, because I'm trying to block too. And so blocking guys like Cam and Grandy, oh my gosh, it's tough, but they help me out a lot. So being in New Orleans definitely helps too, all the crawfish and all that other stuff. So all that food was pretty helpful.
You said trying to block too. Like that was something you weren't trying to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Did I read that right?
it was more so an attempt last year, but now it's just more so just trying to get the job done. Sometimes when I do it, I'm like, all right, like I got a little something. Cam even sometimes give me like, okay, you tried to get me. I was like, yeah, I tried. But yeah, man, we're just trying to keep working and getting better because I know me blocking will be a huge asset to the team. So. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's more so what I got a few questions this past offseason of what was the toughest position in football. And honestly, I being biased, I think tight end is probably one of the hardest positions because I fully had to dive into the run game, but also the pass game as well. And understanding fronts, understanding coverages, running routes, blocking a certain technique. It's a lot that goes into playing tight end that I never even knew. So guys who are like thrown in from receiver to go to tight end, I'm just like, it's a tough transition. It's really tough. So, going into it, I really had to dive deep into it this offseason, like understanding leverages, understanding coverages, techniques. And all this is foreign language to me. Like last year, he'd say something, I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. But this year, I understand like more of what he's talking about. We're on the same, terminology, and everything's great. So going into this year, I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot better with everything. I feel a lot more confident in blocking guys, knowing that, I've done it against my guys. So I feel like we have the best defensive ends in the league. So going against anybody else is kind of like, all right, I can go up against them.
Taysom described that as like you're undersized in one area and then you're oversized in the other.
Right.
You gotta learn like really different things.
Yeah. It is pretty tough. I mean, like, especially knowing, like, you have guys like Trout, too, who's been in the office for 3 years now, who's helping you out a lot. So, having a guy like him at Y helping me out while I'm out there with him, it gives me sort of a cheat sheet when I'm going out there. So it definitely helps, definitely being like, I guess, like a smaller guy compared to defensive ends. It kind of gives me an advantage. I know I'm quicker than those guys. So I get my hands on them quicker. And then, especially in the pass game, I'm kind of bigger than those linebackers and safety. So, you got some pros and you got some cons at the same time.
Have you made that mental switch where you naturally think tight end rather than receiver?
Well, I have. I don't think a lot of people in the world does because sometimes, I feel like sometimes I need to get a little bigger. So some people see me on the street and be like, you're a wide receiver? I'm like, no. I'm not a receiver. I am a tight end. So and sometimes you ask me, like, all right, well, what do they do? I'm like, the same thing we just blocked. But the mental switch is definitely different, though. You definitely have a different mentality going into it. You're not. I'm not saying like wide receivers are divas, but like, they proclaim me as a diva when I was a receiver, and now it's like a lot different. So, yeah. Not at all. I mean, shoot, it's tough. It's a tough deal.
How did you do particularly? Sorry. Put on that way.
Can you say it one more time?
You were kidding about the crawfish. I mean, like, in particular, what did you do detail?
No, I wasn't kidding about the crawfish. Like I was eating a lot of food. Like I'm not gonna lie, probably for the first month after the season, I probably ate whatever I wanted and trying to like put weight on. No, it probably wasn't the best thing, but I was really hungry after the season, so I ate whatever I wanted really. And then from there, I just grinded. Like the whole offseason, I just grinded, and that weight kind of stayed on me. The speed kind of stayed the same. And I was like, damn, I kind of cracked a little diet code. But from there, it was just like, yeah, I pretty much ate wherever I wanted. So, yeah.
How has Taysom Hill's quarterback experience had an impact on the tight end?
I feel like it's been huge, honestly. Like, he gives us a different perspective than we ever could even imagine. So, him saying, like, if we were to run a certain route, we'd ask Taysom, like, do you like this route, how we ran it in a certain coverage? He'd be like, like maybe I like it here or maybe there. So it all depends. Like, it really gives us a perspective from a quarterback perspective going into the room. And it helps us out a lot. Like, we'll tweak a few things just because of what he thinks that a quarterback is thinking in certain routes.
You're talking about like eating whatever you want, you fall for it. Like calories.
Honestly, I don't do calorie count, but I don't eat crazy. Like, I'm not like a binge eater now. Like, I don't just, go all crazy, but I'm a big Asian food guy. I love Asian food. My wife makes a ton of Mexican food, so I love her tacos. But I pretty much, whatever we set our minds to, pretty much eat. I mean, I pretty much work it off, but for the most part, I eat whatever I want. Before practice is probably my healthiest meal. I eat broccoli and potatoes and eggs. But other than that, yeah, I just pretty much eat whatever I want.
I'm jealous, but I'm not. Doing the
Right. Right. Well, I mean, y'all should try my diet. See how you like it. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the next.
No lie.
How did you think you did?
How do you think I did?
Just the team.
I think we obviously could execute better, but it's a different opponent that we're going up against. And I feel like that's the best thing. We don't really know like what they're playing necessarily. We played these guys last year, but they always have a few tweaks. But going against a new team is always something that we like to go into. I think we did fairly well, special teams wise, offense, defense. I thought we did great. Obviously, we want to execute on everything, but that's not possible. But I'm always hard on myself, and obviously I'm more judgmental of us of doing everything right. So if we're not doing everything right, then we have things to work on. So we obviously have room for improvement.
What about blocking? How'd you feel out there against this Packers defense? They talked a big game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's some big dudes out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing those, I'm like, dang, like they are big. Like, but going out there, like I said, like it's a mental switch. Like it's a mentality that you have to have. That I feel like that I need to be above, those guys and even anybody. Like I feel like I can go out and get it just because that's my mindset. And I feel like that's just like what it is about anything. Like if you have the right mindset about it, you're gonna get it. But there's always like when you actually block him, like dang, like he is like big. Like once you hit him, but ultimately after that, you just gotta keep going and execute. We need to execute and just give it your all at the end of the day.
Anyone specifically that you were like, wow?
I mean, I kept going back to the sideline saying this dude Preston Smith is huge. Like every time I kept blocking him, like I got him like one time, but all the other time, like man, like this dude is like a wall. And so I'm gonna keep giving my all. I did today and I will tomorrow. But yeah, he's a challenge that I gotta keep getting after.
You've heard the theme of these press conferences by now. Is it easier or harder to work on cheese curds than Asian?
Here's my thing. I've never heard of cheese curds, but I seen it on DoorDash yesterday, and I was like, I looked up a restaurant called like Blackstone. So I was like, oh, cheese curds, I never really heard of it, so I'm gonna have to try it. And then I talked to somebody, I think it was like Zach or somebody. He's like, yeah, they're famous here. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to try it. So, my little diet, I can't try it in the breakfast, but maybe lunch or dinner I'll try it. So yeah. All right.
Thanks, bud.
For sure. Y'all take care.